Nilay, you're there. I assume you had a chance to demo the products. What are your takeaways?
Bigger screens are better. That seems to be the overwhelming message from Apple at this event. The Apple Watch has a bigger screen. The iPhone XS Max has a huge screen. It's beautiful. And the new iPhone XR has a 6.1-inch LCD. And that really is going to be the takeaway for people when they walk into stores. The screens got better. And I think over the course of the past few years, we've definitely seen smartphone makers, as they make their screens better, they're able to juice their sales. Honestly, the most interesting product here from my perspective is the XR, not the new XS or the XS Max. The XR is a wholly new product. It really looks, when you hold it in your hand, like a marriage of the iPhone X and the iPhone 8 from last year. It's got the glass back of the 8, the aluminum band, and it's got the edge head screen on the front with the LCD. It's missing some features though. It doesn't have 3D touch, it doesn't have dual cameras, but it's striking, it's beautiful, it comes in all these colors. At $749, I think that's going to be the new mainstream product for Apple.
Angelo, what's your take on some of these announcements? You changed your price target last week. Would you be changing it again after today's announcements?
Well, interesting. I think a good portion of the upside to Apple has been met here over the last couple of weeks as it kind of ran into the numbers. That being said, we do continue to see upside in the shares. I'd say the biggest takeaway here from this call, of course, the migration towards these bigger screens, but the fact that the low price point here starts at $750, and then you've got the two higher price screens at $999 and $1099. I think at this point, when you kind of look at some of the street estimates that are out there, I think they're really underestimating the upside to average selling prices here for that all-important December quarter, as well as for the upcoming fiscal year. So we continue to see upside to the estimates here over the next couple of quarters.
Nilay, you say that you think that the lower price phone will become the new mainstream product. Do you actually think that's going to catalyze some switching, or you think it's just kind of the natural next step for a lot of the people out there holding older phones?
I think if you have an older Android phone or even an older iPhone, if you got an iPhone 7 and it's time to upgrade, I don't think the iPhone 8 was a compelling upgrade over the 7. It looked the same. This phone looks different, and I think we've always found that when Apple changes the look of their products, especially in a way as striking as the XR with the colors, they're going to drive a lot of upgrade behavior. And I think it's got the big edge-to-edge screen. It's a little bit different technology-wise than the OLED screen and the XS, but I don't think most people are going to care about that. They're just going to see an edge-to-edge screen.
Angelo, what do you make about the announcements around the watch? Can it be a product now that's a must-have, and if so, would that be very bullish for the stock?
Yeah, we were really excited.
Every year.
Sorry, Angelo, continue.
We were really excited when it comes to the features that we saw in the Apple Watch. I think Apple is doing an absolutely phenomenal job kind of shifting a lot of those capabilities towards being more of a healthcare-oriented device. We think they continue to do that here over the next couple of years. It's not that must-own product yet, but we do think it's a device now where Android users are saying, hey, listen, this is a product that I potentially want to have. And of course, if you want that Apple Watch, you also need to have an iPhone. So we think it could have some broad-ranging implications longer term for the actual financials of the company.
Nilay, what's your impression of the new watch?
Every year Apple, this is the 4th generation of the watch, every year they slightly refine down and narrow the sell point of the watch. So, when it first came out, it was all things. It could open hotel room doors and call you a car and do walkie-talkie mode. Now they're saying it does communications, it does fitness, and it does health. And I think the fact that they're splitting health and fitness into 2 different use cases, going into FDA approvals with health, adding the ECG sensor with health specifically, and then saying our fitness audience is actually, they want a different thing. The fact that they're splitting that up means they can push deeper into those 2 kinds of markets with more refinement. The story of the watch is ultimately Apple figuring out what it's really for over time. I think they've got a much clearer idea of that now than ever. And I do think the bigger screens, the lower price point for the Series 3, all that stuff is going to help their accessory sales over the iPhone. The story of their business is the iPhone's at a saturation point. They can drive switchers, they can drive upgrades, it's flat. Now they're building out the entire accessory ecosystem. And I think the Apple Watch is one of the most important pieces of that ecosystem.